I think we got a show. Oh, yeah, we got a show.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. You know what that stands for. Where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm yours, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
The Parlay Pounder.
You got it. We're back.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like football. I think it's like football every day until, what, 2 weeks after New Year's?
It's Christmas right now. I'll tell you that. Every day is Christmas with football going. Yep. Bowl season, NFL playoff stretch. It's literally the best time of season if you're a football fan and if you're a sports bettor.
And college football playoffs extended for the first time.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that down the road. But we got to start with Thursday night NFL.
Got to.
We always do. And an intriguing matchup with playoff seeding, playoff implications on the line. A divisional game between the Denver Broncos, who are 9-5, taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. The home team is your favorite. The Chargers are at a -3. This line has not seen very much movement at all. However, all the chatter I've been hearing is on Denver. It sounds to me like the sharp money's on Denver.
Yeah, Andy. Like you said, you really framed that up good. The winner between the Denver Broncos and the Chargers will virtually lock up a playoff spot, and the other will have to sweat entering in the final 2 weeks, really sweating to try and get into the playoffs. Yeah, the thing about here, everybody, especially who was in at 3 points, everybody was jumping on Denver. Get the +3. Get the free points with Denver because it's going to be a close game, divisional game, and Denver is playing really well. They really combat the Chargers' best thing that they do, obviously, Justin Herbert. Denver has one of the best secondaries in all of football. So I really liked Denver a lot at the +3. But if I'm going to go under +2.5, I'm just going to go straight money line with the Denver Broncos at +130.
Yeah, and that's where it's at. And there are a lot of 2.5s popping up.
Yeah.
It just kind of has been teetering back and forth there between that half point. And I've also heard, like, don't even waste your time buying that half point.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be too close. It makes a lot of sense to me that Denver is where the smart money should go. I feel like they could go there and win outright, and I would not be surprised whatsoever. Their defense, as you mentioned, is just so good at negating what the Chargers do the best, and they have not found a solid, consistent running game.
Yeah.
So Denver doesn't have to load up on the run.
No.
They just get to send an extra guy back in coverage, fake that blitz and get that guy, bail him out. And I just think it's going to cause problems. And if it gets down to a 2.5, 3-point game, give me the Broncos.
Yeah, exactly, Andy. And in the Chargers, they kind of were running kind of smooth there, Andy, and they look like the new team, where Harbaugh needs to be, really gritty team, wins late, all that kind of stuff. But they're coming off back-to-back losses.
Yes.
And in the second half of last week was ugly. That was some of the worst football that I've seen other than both Monday night games this past weekend, which was insanely terrible.
They just had a Kansas City Chief hangover, and everybody does.
Everybody does.
The doink for the win.
Yep.
Like, what's going on
hard
here?
But the biggest thing, Andy, is the Chargers can't run the ball, puts pressure on Herbert, which puts the defense behind the 8 ball. I think Denver Broncos really win this game, Andy.
Last 3 games, they're consistent, though. They've scored 17 points their last 3 games. That is why this total is getting bet down. It's been bet all the way down to 41.5.
Yeah.
Call me crazy. I still might like the under here.
Yeah, I mean, I have no faith that this can go over, Andy. So I would be leaning with you. I just don't like it in general. Because I can't put faith in either of these two teams to score points or have the defense not give up points. So, like I said, I like Denver's defense, but the Chargers can probably still figure out how to get 17 points, like you said. But is that going to be right on the edge of the under or right on the edge of the over? So it's right where it needs to be, and I won't be touching it.
Yeah, I think that's a safe play there, or no play.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you still have a rookie quarterback, Bo Nix.
Yeah.
He has playing, he has 20 touchdowns compared to 11 interceptions, so he's playing better.
Yeah.
But still, we're talking totals here, and it's, I just don't know if I like that at all.
I think the Broncos just love where they're at right now with their rookie quarterback and willing to go with the punches. It really, really reminds me of the Tim Tebow era of the Denver Broncos. They just hang around, make one play, win the game.
Yep.
And that's kind of what they do, and I foresee that's what's going to happen here against the Chargers.
Yeah, consistency is a word that I've heard describing Denver, and you can't say the same for the Chargers.
No.
With that, let's talk a little Underdog Fantasy.
Okay.
New sponsor of Herdat Sports.
Yeah.
We are a production of Herdat Sports. So let's get in line here. A couple of the popular bets on their app. Bo Nix. When I got in on it, it was an over-under of 222 yards and a half passing for Bo Nix. I think it's under. It's been bet up, though.
Yeah.
He's up to 226 and a half now. It's been bet up 2 yards in 2 days.
Yeah.
Chargers have a good defense.
Chargers have a good defense.
And I get it. They're going to want to score points, and they're going to want to get out early. But Knicks had 2 interceptions last week in the third quarter.
Yeah. And I really do believe that they're going to, rely a lot on just sticking around, prolonging the game. I don't think they're going to be going for a lot of, prolific downfield plays or whatever. I do believe that some of these guys are going to get a lot of catches, but I do not believe that he's going to have that many yards. Yeah. Over on the other side, Andy, is where I'm going under as well. Justin Herbert under 230 is where I do not believe that the Denver Broncos are going to let him get that much open. Now, do I believe he's going to be over 2? Probably, because he just passes too much to be. Yeah. So I would go under Justin Herbert, and I'm leaning with you on under Bo Nix as well.
Herbert's a little dinged up right now, as is his number one target, Ladd McConkey. Yeah. That's another popular bet out there on this platform, Underdog Fantasy. And the over-under is 64 and a half yards 2 days ago. It's been bet up to 66 and a half, and Ladd's coming off an injury too. He's dinged up as well.
And I do see what you're saying there, but if Ladd is in the lineup, if he's out there, Herbert finds him, and he's usually going to get about 8 to 9 catches.
It's about all there is. It's got down to that.
Low-hanging fruit, but I do believe if he's in the lineup, I would take the over.
You like the over?
I would like it all the way up to 70 yards. Wow. I believe that he'll have one of those 9 catches for 75 plus. So I would go over on Ladd McConkey.
Oh, Ladd McConkey with the over.
Yeah.
All right. You looking at anything else over there?
I am. On the other side of the ball, I like it's not an underdog, but just on my book in general, Andy, is Cortland Sutton over 5.5 receptions is at a plus 120 right now, Andy. Cortland Sutton only hauled in 3 receptions against the Colts last week, but he still had 9 balls thrown his way.
9 targets.
So the targets, he has seen now 8+ targets in 7 straight games. I believe he gets these 6 receptions, and you're getting plus 120 on it. You are getting a plus bet, which, I believe something that's going to really, really happen for him.
Yeah.
One other one that I really wanted to get in quick is
he had a touchdown last week.
Yeah, but he didn't have the catches. He only had 3 catches.
Yeah.
So 5.5 catches over on Cortland Sutton. The running back over on the Chargers side. We were just bashing them for not having a running game, but this is so low. Vidal over 27.5 yards. He's gonna be getting a bulk of the carries, but a majority are gonna give it to Gus Edwards, I believe Vidal is going to get in there and be able to get over on this yardage. It's only 27.5. I think it's a really good parlay piece if people are looking at it.
I just looked up Cortland on Underdog, and it's at the higher-low, or the game basically over-under is at 5.5 receptions.
There you go.
You think it's over?
I believe it's over. I believe that's a very good play.
What about the 64.5 yards receiving?
Yeah.
He doesn't, he's more of a volume guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Spot receiver, slot receiver.
And they like him in the red zone, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I'm not crazy about the yards. I just believe that he's going to get balls thrown his way, which means receptions. I believe he goes for over 6. I would teeter on the over there, Andy, with the yards, but I'm not going to pair them together. So I'm taking the receptions in my parlay.
That's what you're picking up as yours. Anybody else that you're kind of caught your eye there with these player props?
Yeah, I mean, the ones that really get me going, Andy, and I've won a lot of parlays on them, are these kicker points. And
kicker points?
Yeah. So Will Lutz and Cameron Dicker here, they're both set at over 7.5 kicking points.
Okay.
So you can get to there one of two ways, obviously kicking field goals, or
Sure.
if your team scores a lot of points, you're gonna run that out. So no, it's both of these guys. Can they kick 2 field goals and 2 extra points is the line. So you go under over on that. If you don't think it's going to be a huge scoring night, that's a lot of points by a kicker, 7.5. They have to get the 8. So I don't believe one of these guys will do it. The other guy won't. It's for you to decide. I do believe Will Lutz will get there because I don't believe the Broncos are going to finish a lot of drives. I think they're going to kick some field goals.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Where you can move the ball between the 20s, then you get into the red zone,
kick the field goals.
Yeah, you take the field goals, and this is the type of game where Denver might be comfortable just kicking field goals, stacking those up, extending their lead by 3 each time.
Exactly. So I got Will Lutz over 7.5 kicking points.
All righty. Well, we're up against it, but let's take a minute to talk about Underdog. Use promo code UDPromo. I can remember that. Underdog promo for up to $1,000 bonus cash when you make your first deposit. So not so bad there.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.